Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over a couple of crypto coins and some signals that could be signifying either a bullish market or a bearish market. Well, if you haven't already subscribed, drop a comment and we will get right back to you. So Bitcoin is trading now at around $19,802, which is actually around $1,000 closely, or I'm sorry, $100 than what it was trading yesterday, and it looks like it's continuing to slip. Now the support line looks like it has been broken, and it looks like it could actually be moving in on down in the last couple of days. We're going to say that that support is going around 19,788, which is kind of bouncing off of that. Now, when we're looking at the MACD, it does continue to show that downward decline, and it could potentially continue. Now, when we're looking back in June of 26, we had pretty much of a good run, kind of going up and down, creating some good retracements back and forth, rather healthy. But once we reached July of the 31st, it kind of went going back down, especially since June 13th, when we had that major jump down, and in May with a whole downslide coming off of around 47,000 and then peaking or stopping at 39, and then of course dumping back down to 29 and 19, which is around a $10,000 jump roughly in a month. If you notice, each month looks like it's dropping around 10,000, but however, if we want to kind of use that as a basis of kind of understanding what's going on, this is a long run, considering from June 14th to August 29th. Is kind of a long run when we compare before we have that huge dump. So there's two things that's going to be happening here. Either we're going to continue to move in this range style, going back and forth between the resistance and the support lines, and we're going to be able to see where it's happening, if it's going to go up or down. Now my best bet, it is going to continue to decline, and that is pretty much based how it's hovering and staying and are hugging that support line so deeply and so hard, without any of the moving averages kind of giving up. Now the last kind of moment that we had that it could actually peak up before actually turning the opposite direction was on the 25th of August. And that moment of truth too, as far as if it was going to break out and come through, if we're looking at the support line, or I'm sorry, the resistance, was right here. When it actually kissed it, bounced down and came back up and kissed it again as August 11th, and we had some high hope. However, the morning star popping up here was signifying that it was going down, and that power struggle from the 15th of August really played a big part in that, kind of give us that warning that it's coming through. Now, you know, if you're trading in and you're hugging really close either to the support or resistance, then we are playing a dangerous game. To give it around the 3-day mark to see what the market is doing before you truly invest or you buy in. Now, unlike some markets, crypto is highly volatile, so that's what is really signifying that you should be very, very cautious in this moment. Now, does that mean that it can actually jump up off support? Well, yes, it could actually do that, but as we go and we're having that incline, it could potentially go down. Typically, the vice versa, if it goes up above, it could actually go up, or it can still reverse and crash back down and go well below 17,000 as well, if that's the case. Now, giving what it's looking like now, it does look like it's going to fall below. I would say roughly around 19.5, probably within the next week, if it's still falling as much as it has been. Well, even from yesterday, $100. If we have $100 a day, 500, roughly in a week, we'll see that price if it doesn't kick back up and start moving. Well, we're gonna have to see on that. Now, as far as Ethereum goes, since we're speaking on this, now Ethereum's kind of hard to read right now at this point. It's trading at 1,447. The support line is kind of a really weak support. It's around 1431, which we're kind of moving around. But if you want to be more realistic, such as a strong support, it's going to be around $1,000, and it can very easily also kiss this. The reason why I'm using this one here is that weak support, because it can potentially fall below that rather fast and rather easy, and that's going to really give us a big point of what's going to be happening moving forward, especially with a merge coming up soon, is a big thing. Now, why I'm so skeptical. The moving averages, I love to go by them. I love to see how it's going through. It always gives me those big warnings, at least if I'm going to buy in or buy out. It hasn't failed me since, but of course other things giving into a matter, it kind of, you should make your decisions based on that. So even when we're talking about here, as it was declining down, and before it actually crossed over We can see on August the 16th, that was the downside of Ethereum, where you had a little bit of hope that it was going to kind of reverse back over here on the 25th, but it looks like it's not getting any closer and only gapping even further more. So are we looking at $1,000? It is highly possible that we can touch back on that before actually stabilizing again to moving up. And as we get closer to that merge completing, this is the point that we need to pay attention to. So would I say buy into this right now? Well, I'm not going to quite buy into Ethereum, even though it is a good price, especially if we can bounce back and recover over $2,000. If you buy in, that is great, but I do expect it to kind of go back down, and I will find then once we kind of touch, stabilize off the support, then enter the market a little bit easier. Now, as far as the Cardano, the enemy of Ethereum, it is also took a big hit, trading at 43. It's not going to be $5. The last time it was March of 2022, and it was $1.19, which is actually a huge improvement from what it was at 78. But it has dropped even lower. It still managed, especially when we're going to August of last year, where you had those huge pumps, but nowhere close. And given the market, it just would not allow it. Now, the gapping for Cardano is also the same. It is kind of coming up. We have a few spike moments that it looks like it's going to go up, but that reversal is so strong. And holding on right here on support, we're going to have another support pretty soon, and we'll be forming something later on, and I'm going to believe is still going to be in a bear market coming up well into winter this year. This is how it looks. Some big drops here in from the 17th and 18th as well, some pretty big drops, and that's what we don't want to see. But however, as far as Cardano goes, it has that high potential. Same for May. Everything in May really truly had that moment. We're talking about Bitcoin. Everything in crypto had in May that huge drop off the cliff, but everything does kind of be moving in a range motion. But this is another one of those signals, the same how it went down. We're looking at June, we're looking at August, right? We had May, that same, and in April, that huge drop down. And if you want to go over here to March as well, so once a month, it looks like it's kind of hitting that major downcline, stabilizing, coming up, but yet further kissing back on that. So each month it's just completely reversing back to the point. So this is something that is definitely a short-term kind of trade. If you buy in right off there and you see it going up and you enter just at the right moment, you're making pennies, but and pennies do add to dollars at this point. So that's all I have for you today. But do subscribe, drop a comment, and we'll be getting back with you with some more crypto news and analysis. Thank you, guys.